Hello Aquarius, how you doing? Welcome to your Astroflower Energy Tarot reading for the 11th going through to the 17th of November. Getting ever so closer to your birthday season, so you might be looking at the world in a bit of a retrospective sort of way rather than or an introspective sort of way. We'll see how things are planning out in regards to the energies that have been coming out. If you haven't seen the energy update, we'll be looking at how the energies are affecting the elements within your flower and which petals and which cards they're playing in, and seeing how best to sort of play the energy that's coming through at the moment. But in the meantime, we will be pulling some messages from the Astroflower and pulling some tarot cards as well. So let's just get on with that and see what's going on for you. There is this retrospection going on. I don't think it's massively, but I think you're starting to notice things around. The energies that's coming through is just seeing things from a little bit of a detached view at the moment. That's what I'm getting off your sort of energy. So something happens within your entourage, or something happens in the world around you. Someone says something, or someone does something, and it's nothing major, but it's, you kind of sort of stop and you kind of go, what about, and if that's that, like that, if they're like that, or if they say this, and you know, does that not mean that? So there's a lot of that going on, of sort of looking at smaller things and just sort of extrapolating them within life. I think that's what the energy's sort of playing with you at the moment. It's much more an introspection energy than an outwardly looking energy, as it were. And you know, that's, we all need those sort of moments in life. And it could be a really good thing. It could be sort of like someone says something, sort of saying, does that mean that person's interested in me? Does that mean that that opportunity for that business is there? There is also that. It's not a bad energy at all. It can be perceived like a bad energy, but for you, it's more of a case of kind of just sorting stuff out so you can, you know, you can preempt the curve, as it were. Yeah, happiness after difficulty that's in there. I think this is where I think this is what you're driving towards. I don't necessarily think it's what it is at the moment, because I think you've got this retrospection going on in accordance mainly with your sort of karmic path of, you know, what am I living in life in regards to my relationships or my financial side. And I think you're driving towards that happiness after difficulty because you want to understand. You want to understand how this is happening, what's happening, and so forth within the world that is around you. Let's just see what's going on the relationship side here. There seems to be building blocks on your karmic path. So that means you're gradually positioning yourself to have an experience within your relationship side for you to learn something about life. That's what the karmic path is all about. It's about it's like trying out things and seeing what the results are, and then learning from that situation. And this is where you're sort of like, you're building those sort of like building blocks here. You're building towards maybe your happiness after difficulty, and it's maybe a difficult time for you at the moment. Let's just see what's going on in the universal sort of thing. It's the connection to everything that is around you in a way of coincidence and synchronicities. There's it's a definite, it's straight up. There's quality rather than quantity. You're not in the mood, by the looks of things, you're not in the mood for going out partying, and it's more a case here of having quality connections rather than quantity connections. That's what it seems to be like on that sort of front here. You know, having a good heart to heart, as it were, or with people that are around you, rather than just sort of like flash in the pan sort of moments. Let's just see what's going on from the past. The past, I think this is your autumn period coming up. It will become a lot more sort of evident as you go through December and start coming out the other end of December. I think it's going to get a little bit stronger, but there seems to be like a 10 of Wands sort of situation. There seems to be, you know, needs to be sorted and not necessarily continued on in your life, and some things that need to be explored even more. I think there's a bit of sorting out to do. That's what I think within the past. Before it gets to, you know, there's too many things to sort out. Let's just see where the future side is. The future side is really good, and I think that's what's driving the 10 of Cups here on the relationship side. Seems like a really sort of sunny outlook, joyous time to be had. Obviously, you got Pluto going into your sign from the following week after the 17th. And I think this is going to be a very engaging next 10 years for you. And if you engage in this way of looking towards the sunshine, looking towards happiness, you're probably going to come out with it really well. It's going to be a very, very creative time of your life. Let's just have a look what the lessons are out of this week. In order to be in the good timing in the future, in order to be in that happiness after difficulty, you know, there needs to be sort of like getting into rhythm or organizing things now, so then they start playing for you in the future. It's like planting a seed now, knowing you're not going to get the fruit for a few months, but when you do get that fruit, boy, they're going to be good. Sort of scenario, and it is preparing the ground for that. On your karmic path, you have the Knight of Wands. Okay, so it is, I think there are things that are coming into your life. As I say, it's like building blocks, and I think it's there's a bit of spontaneity of allowing this space to be sort of used, as it were, within your career path, within your karmic path, sorry. And this is going to need, you've got to be on the ball here. You've got to be paying attention a lot to the here and now of what's going on around you, and seeing how that fits into your life in a good way, because you're driving towards happiness, and the Knight of Wands is a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, a lot of passion, and so you know, being a little bit ready for the unseen things in the life, I think is really important. On your connection to the universe, you have the King of Wands. A lot of fire here, and you do have a lot of fire in your sign, Aquarius. And this is all about sort of that quality rather than quantity. It's really going on a quality drive with connection with the world around you within a very emotional and relationship sort of side of life. So let's just see what's going on in the past. Yeah, the past is here. It needs a little bit of sorting. I think there's a little bit of work to be done here. You get the Six of Swords. Moving on to calmer shores, and this work, this is what I mean about the karmic path, about getting things in place and preparing for the future. You know, it's going to take a bit of time to sort out the gradual accumulation of you know, suitcases of life that you carry around with us. We all do it, and now it's just a case of streamlining a lot of things, I think, and it's getting into streamlining a lot of things. Into your future self, you have the Ascension moment, the Judgment card, the calling to your true destination, and it should be driven by happiness, I think. Once you start driving it via the happiness, I think you're going to get some very good results within it. And what's this lesson for the week? What's the lessons out of this? Timing, you know, getting ready to be here and now, being in the moment, and feeling what is good for you. Feeling what works for you, basically. And I think, as I said, I think it's very much on the smaller detail that this is going to come out. You know, this is for me, it's like a card of evidence. So there's plenty of choices there within those cups there, but there is actually only one cup that's giving you what you want, really. And I think this is all to do with timing, all about organisation. So you're not getting caught between, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? It becomes very evident what you should be doing. Let's just have a look what's going on the financial sort of side. There's a desire to take a new direction. It's bizarre because I think it's actually going really well for you. But there's this part of you that's unsatisfied. And that part there, it's like an itch that you got to itch. And it seems like the karmic path is very similar to what's going on here. But there's a definite creation for the future, but there's something coming through you at the moment that it feels like this is what you got to do. And this could be like a sideline, like a second business, or a project that you're doing, a personal project. I think it's a case here where you're starting to work on the finer details to get that into place. On your connection to the universe or the people that are around you, what's going on there? Be attentive. Put your antennas out. Listen. Find out what's going on around you at the moment. See what people are talking about. See how that helps you to direct a new thing in your life. Open up a new opportunity for you. That's why I think you should be very attentive to the world around you. Not necessarily making commitments, but certainly sort of listening and sort of seeing what is the buzz at the moment in your world. On the past self is built out of a lot of security. You've obviously done the work that you needed to do. Sort of like could be sort of certificates or qualifications or experience. So it puts you in a very strong position. And I think you are in a strong position. And in your future self is playing into this karmic block here. I think over the next 2 months, it's going to be very important how you set this up, how you bring it into place. In your lessons for this week, Rome wasn't built in a day. I think you've got to be a little bit patient about the implementation of a project or a sideline or a side hustle, as it were, and it could come really good for you. But I think it's satisfying that itch that is within you is going to be really important. On your karmic path, you get patience. Yes, there's a lot of things. I think if you really want to go on without completely destroying everything, because you could just leave that job and just kind of go, right, sod it, I'm going to become a junk, I'm going to work in the circus as a juggler, that sort of thing. Completely different to what you do at the moment. It's not necessarily a bad job, that's not what I'm saying, but is it realistic in regards to what you're living at the moment? So I think you need to be very patient about what's coming up in the future and be very attentive and open to taking a bit of a leap of faith. But this is you looking for that leap of faith at the moment in your connections to the universe, in connection with everybody that is around you. Having your antennas out, having your ear to the ground, as it were. Listening out, finding out what the pulse is going on. Yeah, in the past, I think you've done a lot. I think you've walked into a place which is a lot more sort of secure for you, or you feel very secure about your sort of situation. The plan has come together very nicely in the past, and that's given you the wings to explore this possibility, this sideline, this side hustle, and so forth. And yeah, I think you should explore it, but I wouldn't go changing too much at the moment. In your future self, look at that. Great success. If you are patient, because it was pointing to that card there. If you are patient, I think this side hustle or this little side business or something that you want to be doing as a project, maybe even, it could be even a case of buying a house and renovating it, and then selling it for loads more money than you bought it, making loads of money out of it, and kind of actually start saying, do you know what, I like doing that. You know, I can just get myself a simple job now and just renovate houses and sell them again. That sort of thing. In the lessons for this week here, abundance is yours. You have everything. Rome wasn't built in a day, but at some time, you know, Rome must have had the resources in order to be rebuilt or built. So I think you have everything at your fingertips, really. It's a case of being patient of how to put this plan into action as you go forward. Okay? It's going to depend on the energies that are coming in, on the messages that are coming in from that. I can definitely see, I want to see what the energies are for you at the moment, in very particular places. So let's just have a look at the sun and see what's happening with those energies. Here's the sun here from last week. We've got the 2 coronal holes that are just going out of sync. They've really gone round the corner by now, by today, Sunday. These are the second lot of grouping of coronal holes that are coming through. This is all Earth energy, by the way. You'd know that if you'd seen the energy updates. But these are actually going to be around about here today. So they're going to be they're going to be moving out of influence upon the Earth. But that influence through the Earth, as it resonates through the Earth, I think is going to be going right through till Wednesday or Thursday. And it will depend upon these sort of sunspots, which are also around this sort of side, and the incoming sunspots, to see what the energy's like, see if it changes over from Earth to fire a little bit. But we have had a lot of filament energies, and the sunspots seems to be like the chisel that is sculpting the block. Now, the block could be made out of wood, and that's the main energy, or the earth, as it were. Can be made out of earth, out of clay. And the chisel, or the sculpting tool that you're using, is very small compared to the earth. But it is the defining thing, that what makes the pottery what it is at the end. So it's a very slight and subtle energy, but I think it's playing enormously within the world. And this is what I'm talking about in regards to the energies. During this week, earlier on this week, and this is all about the filament energies. Okay, earlier on this week, you can see here, you've got the coronal hole down here. You've got lots of filament energies as well, which are going on. There's loads of filament energies across the sun, but it's squashing down these solar flares here, these sunspots here. So it's really putting a lot of pressure on it. And it will give us a few eruptions, which I think will be coming out during this week and start really changing the influences on Thursday or Friday and Saturday. Okay, but it's mainly the filament energy, which is the sculpting tool at the moment, water energy. But there is a bit of fire in that. And you can see these chain of sunspots here. You've got one that's just out the front here, one main one here, and you've got a second one out the back. Now, these have been firing off together in the earlier part of this week. Then we'll be moving out. This one here will be pretty much facing the Earth as we speak. But as you see, this one here and this one here fire off at the same time. And this one seems to be the pivotal point. And it's connected with filament energies that go between the two. And look at this eruption that comes out down this filament energy, throws a lot of fire through the water element. Here it comes here, and you'll see it just dance across the sun. And that seems to be the sculpting tool. There it was there, the sculpting tool at the moment. So what we're going to be looking for mainly within your flower is that connection of water and fire, but also the connection between the earth and the air. Now you are, as you can see, you've got air at your the surface, and then at your base you've got this fixed water. The only earth that you do have is coming in from Capricorn, which comes in this section here. Now I think here is where it's going to be playing a lot more on physically what you want to do in life, and it's giving you a direction, because we got that cardinal earth going through your fixed air. And I think this is that itch that needs to be satisfied within your life. And with that itch and with those sorting out things on your relationship side and also sorting things out on your financial side. If you look at the surface of these two karmic paths, you get the combination of fire and water. Fire and water. Okay, especially on your relationship side, you've got fire and water at the base, and fire and water at the base here as well in your connection with the universe in this sort of section here. Fire and water and fire and water. So I think these crossing points, this one here and this one here, is really important to look at. Okay, so we're going to be pulling a few cards on the message coming in on this cardinal earth there, and these crossing points here, the pivotal point of how you convert your karmic path into the reality around you. So let's just bring your cards back up. Here they are here. So we're going to be looking at this point here above the Knight of Wands, but also above the Temperance, seeing what that's playing about, because you've got that mutable energies going on there, and that's sort of like one way, the other way, one way, the other way, one way, the other way, and that itch needs to be itched. This is giving you real direction, because this is playing into that cardinal earth that goes through there. This is giving you a real sort of direction, as it were, and I think that's where it comes out, where things need to be put in its place, sorted and etc., so you get that direction within your life. But let's start off with that earth that plays through there, and we'll go on to the financial side. So what's the lesson, or what's the energy that's giving us a direction here on your financial side, which is going to help the mutables energy really flow into play? On your financial side, you get the Queen of Wands, connecting between the Six of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. I think the Queen of Wands really is all about that. It's bringing that into your consciousness, the magic of life. This is why she's got that cat. The magic of life, of the here and now, and being attentive about a situation that is really could take you on an adventure. You do also get the Five of Swords. Now, in order to really engage with this Queen of Wands, which I think is really good, you're going to have to get past that internal conflict more than anything else, or the conflict with the world around you. So it's that conflict could be, I can't just jack my job in and go and be a juggler in the circus, because, you know, I've got rent to pay, I've got my family, I've got, you know, everything to do. And so there is an internal conflict or conundrum that you need to not necessarily walk away from, but I think you need to acknowledge it, but then walk towards your future. Let's just see what this crossing point here is all about. Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, this is about being patient, about commanding your karmic path into the Ten of Pentacles, which you get at the end. So it's seeing the results of the decisions you make about this week, about itching that itch, scratching that itch, and realizing you've got everything that you need. You don't need to go out looking for it. You just need the opportunity, and that opportunity will come in. And I think it's going to be driven by that happiness of that Ten of Cups that is within you, because this is an offering of joy and happiness. It gives you great success. I think this sideline, this business that you're thinking about, but it's going to take time to put into place. That's what you've got to be conscious about. And I think that's what that internal conflict could also be about, trying to go too fast. So just be wary about that. Let's just see what needs to be arranged on this side here, on the relationship side. You got the Eight of Cups. Yeah, I think you need to be a little bit curious about the whole sort of thing. I think you need to go after the ideas of kind of going, oh, this person said that, did that. You know, what does that mean? What does that mean for me? How can I enjoy life a lot better? Do they really like me? Do they want me? You know, shall I ask them out? You know, and you've got to be a little bit curious about all of that sort of side in life. And get it in order within you more than anything else. Get a real direction for you. Yeah, the devil's in the detail. I think that's where the devil is, that the devil's going to be coming up and sort of kind of going, you know, we're only going to get there if you sort out your past, as it were. You know, put things in a little bit of order within your life. And I think that's what the devil is going to play, the devil's advocate in a way. The energy is going to play a little bit devil's advocate in a way for you. Okay, so it helps you to put things really clear, you know, according to what you want to experience in regards to relationships or emotions and so forth. Okay, so yeah, there you go. I hope you get the best out of these readings. Don't forget about the energy update. You will also find a link in the description for the Zoom room 2025 energy tower reading for Aquarius. If you want to be part of that, where you can ask a question and we can pull cards on the question that you ask. If you want to be part of that, then there's a link there where you can book up your place to be in that Zoom room. Okay, I will see you soon. Thank you very much for all the support you give to this channel. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.